Good morning and welcome to Monday Meditation again. This week, we're going to build on what we have already practiced a little bit. If you've been practicing with us, we're going to go into a body scan again. And this time, we're going to start bringing our attention to what's calling our attention. And through the body scan process, we're going to build again on paying attention, but also bringing different energy or maybe understanding through the senses what might be going on here. And that is important for a couple of reasons. First of all, we are often really disconnected from our bodies. And sometimes there are little clues that we get that something needs something needs our attention. And when we start to gear ourselves toward listening to those cues, understanding what those cues mean, translating the language of these cues that are the inherent wisdom of our bodies, we have a lot of information we can work with. So, for instance, we might be able to notice a little twinge or a little feeling and be able to say, oh, that usually happens when I'm feeling stressed. Maybe I need to take a step back and do a meditation or go on a walk. So it can be very important for us understanding what we may need in those moments or what might be happening with us. It's also important because we are terribly disconnected from ourselves. We talked about living up in this space and having a lot going on here, but not having a lot of connections back to our bodies. And it's through that connection to ourselves that we can feel grounded. We can feel like we're standing in our power. And it's the basis of us being able to connect in with other people, which is sort of that beginning place of a sense of belonging or feeling like we matter in this bigger scheme of things, feeling like we have community. And there's so much around the idea of needing community. I've been a therapist for a long time, and for a long, long time, maybe it was back in the 90s, excuse me, I was trying to remember. There was this idea that we had to try to love ourselves as a way of healing. And there's a component to that that's true. But what we're finding out more and more is that not only does repair happen and love happen in the service of community, but so does growth and feelings of, life being worth living and having meaning. All those connections are really important. But our first relationship, the relationship to ourselves, is what allows us to be in relationship with others. So that's the whole reason for the basis of this body scan meditation today. And there's a twist I want to add. I'm going to show you this. We have journal prompts, just as we always do. But I want to add, if we can see it, my blurred background is not letting it happen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fake it out. Well, this is a body scan. Maybe you can kind of see it. Oh, there it is. There's a little bit of it. There's a whole body down there, though, rest assured. I'm going to put a link to this kind of thing in, where I put the little message out for what the journal prompts are, because I'd like you to incorporate this if you can. So with the journal responses, maybe your way of doing it is, or responding in a journal is through words. And I'm going to encourage you to step into something that starts to tap into and address those things that maybe aren't as easily described using words, and maybe could be better described, at least in the first step, through textures or colors or the sense of movement and on all that kind of stuff. And then we'll move into adding words to what those textures and movements and things might have meant. It's a way of helping yourself have multiple levels of understanding of what may be going on. And something, the nonverbal part is often something that we don't do a lot, which is what I'm hoping to help teach you and bring forward a little bit. Okay, enough of the conversation. Let's get into the meditation. So, as we are learning to do, allow yourself to get into a comfortable spot, being able to hold this posture that you're in, this comfortable posture, for 10 to 15 minutes. Not sure how long we'll go. If at all possible, when we're done with the meditation, it might be great to just step into the prompt for those of you who are watching the recording, that is. And so letting your attention settle into your body, bringing awareness to those things that are supporting you right now. Feeling the chair underneath you or the bed, or if you're standing, feeling your feet grounded in the earth under you. Get a sense of being supported, being held, and being present with what you're experiencing right now. And so as you tap in to this physical space, the physical sensations of your body, bring awareness to what's calling your attention today. You might notice discomfort in your feet or twinge in your back. Maybe there isn't a sensation that you're noticing. Maybe you're just intuitively aware of an area that might need a little more support today. And on this next breath, let yourself travel to that area with ease. Landing where your attention is needed. Opening yourself up in the space to bringing a different presence to what's there. Like you're shining a light. And as we practiced before, allow yourself to be an observer in this moment. No need to change what's there. Just listen to the wisdom of your body. And let yourself bring awareness to a sensory level. What are you noticing that may be a texture, a sense of feeling of what's here? What colors, what sounds, what movements present as you bring more attention to them? And as you're holding your attention, your kind, non-judgmental attention to this area that's called you, let yourself be aware of the changes that happen when we allow ourselves to respond to where our body has called us. Let yourself note changes in temperature or texture or movement. Maybe things have calmed down or been given more energy. Just let yourself lean further into this inner wisdom, your inner guidance, noting the changes. And let yourself just hold space in this area, explore this area. And if it feels right, let yourself lean into what might be needed here. Again, leaning into the senses. Is there a sound that would be supportive? Is there a breath or movement? Is there a flavor or other sensations that could support this space and what was presenting? And without having to try too hard, just let that come in. And as we did before, hold space for what's here. Notice the changes. Let them be as they are. And give yourself another few moments here, letting things settle to whatever end that word means in this moment. And then open yourself up for another area that may need your attention. And just as we did before, using your breath or just imagining, let your attention go to that space. Again, noticing what's there in a non-judgmental way. Holding space for what is, and letting yourself open or shine the light on this area as well. Letting yourself open to this inner wisdom and guidance you're receiving. It isn't important right now to know the whys of it being here. What's important is to be with what's here and just to bring attention, to shine a light on where your body's wisdom has drawn you. Leaning into your senses again, take note of what you notice. Colors, movements, sounds or textures, smells or tastes that go with what you're noticing here. Observing the changes, especially as you hold attention. So the longer we bring the spotlight to this, we bring this kind, observing attention, the more we're going to be able to notice. So what changes for you? Take note of subtle changes and big changes. Sometimes it's also normal for it to just be the same way it was. And that's okay. Doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. That just means it may need more attention than we're giving it right now. Or that's just how it is right now. So if it feels right, allow yourself to bring in to this place what's needed. And again, start with what the sensations, what the senses would bring. Tastes, colors, textures. What would support this area and what is needed? And with ease, just let that come in. Holding space for what you see, holding space and presence for what's here. Spend a few minutes just letting this unfold. And as we move to the end of this meditation, let yourself hold and be aware of the fact, the idea that this kind, focused attention is at your fingertips whenever you need it. In a moment in the car or at work, in those moments when partners or children are creating some level of trigger, your body's inner wisdom can bring you what you need to explore and to find out what you may need. And so allow your attention to be drawn back to the sense of support, bringing awareness to your feet underneath you, your back and your bottom sitting on the chair. And as you return to the body in this moment, send gratitude and thanks. Gratitude for the inner wisdom. Gratitude for yourself, to yourself, for engaging in this practice today. And as you focus on your presence, allow yourself come back to the room and go on with your day, whatever that may mean.